According to the Bible, the mark of the beast is a mark that will be forced on people during the end of the world. And during this time, Revelation chapter 13 says that there will be two prominent figures that will rule the final world government. And those people are the beast of the sea, also known as the Antichrist, and the beast of the earth, also known as the false prophet. And before Jesus returns to earth for the second time, the false prophet will force people to receive this mark of the beast. And because this subject has caused concern or confusion for Christians, here's everything you need to know about the mark that'll happen so that everyone can be aware. Fact number 1, the mark of the beast is not 666. It calculates to 666. Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. In this passage, John tells us that the mark of the beast calculates to 666. And the reason why this is important is because I see pictures of horror movies and these demons or possessed people all have the number 666 on their foreheads. And the idea of 666 comes from this passage in the book of Revelation, which is the final book in the Bible. The reason why 6 is a significant number is because it's commonly known as the number of man, whereas 7 is known as the number of completion. People were created on the 6th day, and on the 7th day, God rested and intended man to rest and to remember him. So this 666 kind of conveys this idea of man that has no need for God. So when it comes to this mark of the beast, Christians can't be exactly sure what it will look like. Some people think that it might look like a barcode, and with the direction we're taking in technology, I feel like the mark might be a chip implantation. But we don't know. What's important, though, is to know that the mark will calculate to 666. So what the mark physically looks like is up to speculation. And while this mark may look trivial, it's incredibly dangerous. So pay attention to fact number 2. The mark of the beast is an unforgivable sin. Revelation chapter 14, verses 9 to 10. Then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, "If anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." In this passage, John sees an angel talking to people, and he's saying if anyone worships the beast or the Antichrist and receives this mark on their forehead or hand, they will endure God's wrath and be tormented with fire in the presence of God and his angels. So please understand the gravity of this passage. People who receive this mark will receive God's wrath, and this wrath is felt in the lake of fire, which is the second and final death. Christians have asked me in the past, what if someone gets this mark on their hand, but they cut their hand off? Can they still be saved? And the answer is no, because this passage says that anyone who receives the mark will go through the wrath of God, and the fullness of God's wrath will be death in the lake of fire. So, should the time come and a mark be given in the future that gives allegiance to a future ruler, people must avoid it at all costs. And it will be difficult or even impossible to avoid. And you'll see why in fact number 3. The mark of the beast will be forced upon people. Revelation chapter 13, verses 15 to 17. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. In this passage, John tells us that the beast of the earth, or the false prophet, was given power to give breath or semblance of life to a particular image. To give you some context, the Bible prophesies that there will be an assassination attempt on the Antichrist, and many will believe him to be dead. And we see this in Revelation chapter 13, verses 3 and 14. But despite this deadly wound that was given to the Antichrist, the false prophet will cause him to breathe and speak. And this breath that the false prophet gives will not be given to the beast, but to the image of the beast. And then the false prophet will force people to worship and bow down to the beast's image. And then he'll force them to receive his mark, and those who don't will be executed.